What is up, guys? This is KOJOFOREX, aka GBP Legend, aka Sniper Trader, aka King of Blues. I'm back again with another YouTube content. I promise you guys I'm going to be very consistent, but I can certainly say that I've been up to mark with my own words. It's basically because I've just been sometimes extremely busy outside the world of trading, but nonetheless I'm back again with another exciting content. And you guys know that anytime I upload a video on YouTube, it means that I have valuable information that's going to change a lot of things for you in terms of your trading knowledge, right? So this week has been a very incredible week for me. If you guys follow me on Instagram, which I recommend everybody watching this video to do, right, at KOJOFOREX, I'm going to leave the link to my Instagram page in the description. Then you should know that I was a little bit down and complaining about my trade setups not really going as according to how I wished it should for the past like a week or two, right? And nonetheless, this week literally changed everything for me, right? So it gives you the understanding of how powerful my style of trading and then my line of trading, which is swing trading, right? So in this week alone, the week hasn't ended yet. Today is Friday though, but we've been able to close 1,110 pips alone in this week, right? And most of these trades are shared with the community. Also, if you're not in the community, then you are literally missing out. Why? You should also click in the link in the description to join the KOJOFOREX Telegram community like right now, right? So I'm going to do a trade breakdown of all the trades that I took this week, analyzing exactly what I saw, why I entered this trade, and what were the confluences I considered before jumping in right into those trades. And it should be a very interesting one for you to learn a lot from. So without wasting much time, I'm going to go right into the chart, break down the analysis, and then make you guys see into details what I saw before taking those trades, and then you can learn a thing or two from it and better your trading. So let's go right into the chart and I'll show you what I saw. Yeah, guys, so I promised you that anytime I upload a content, it means that I have valuable information to share with you. And then this week, like I said, has been a very incredible one. It's been a long time that I had such a superfluous week in my trading, especially for the year 2021. But this week has been a very exciting one, looking at the fact that I have had my eyes around the industry, a lot of people that trade the way I do, and then even traders that use different style of trading, but none had the kind of opportunities that I had in terms of the entries it took, or not a lot of people saw the kind of moves I saw coming in on the market. So I'm going to do a little bit of short, succinct, easy breakdown of what I saw and what led me into catching those trades, and then I believe that you can learn a thing or two from it. So this week I caught about 6 solid trades, right? I caught Euro CAD, I caught Euro USD, I caught AUD USD, New Zealand USD, USD Swiss franc, XAU USD, right? So you guys can see that when it comes to a currency pair that are traded for this week, aside the Euro card, most of it had dollar as the base currency or the quote currency. I think the one that had dollar as the base currency is USD Swiss franc. Nonetheless, the other ones had dollar as the quote currency. Talking about Euro USD, AUD USD, NZD USD, XAU USD, and then GBP USD. But I shared all these trades in the community, and a lot of people made a lot of money from that. So let's start. Where do I even start from? I'm going to start with especially analyzing the dollar index, right? So I told you guys I'm going to do an in-depth breakdown of the dollar index and make you understand some little bit of details into how I use that as a confluence in taking trades on the market. So I'm going to start off. This is not a video that is going to break down that aspect of what I want to teach you, but this video I'm going to throw some little bit of light into it so that at least you get what I mean and how I use the dollar index. So I told you guys that the dollar index is used to measure the strength or weakness of the dollar, right? It's the basket of currencies compared to the strength or weakness of the dollar. It's an index, so it means that when the dollar index is trading on the upside, then literally means that dollar is strong, and when the dollar index is trading on the downside, it also literally means that the dollar is weak. So if you do your technical analysis and then it tells you that there's potential for dollar index to start dripping, you to start always thinking about the weakness coming in for the dollar. And then if you do your technical analysis and it gives you the information that there's going to be some bullish run on the dollar index, then you should know that dollar is going to be weak for the kind of impending week coming. So I did my analysis on the dollar index, and I kind of realized that it had tapped into a very important psychological level and a zone for me. You guys know how incredible my zones are, my psychological levels, right? Very, very, very powerful information in there. And then it was just like a slight tap into 92.50 on the dollar index, right? Something that only a few people could necessarily see as a resistance level in the market, but because of my psychological level, it gave me a good insight into understanding that that level could serve as a strong resistance, especially when it gave me the kind of closure that I was expecting, right? So when it comes to the closure, right, I'm not going to throw much light into it because those are information that I reserve for students that have taken my mentorship and then the sniper session. But this closure kind of gave me a very strong confidence that we're going to have like a massive drop on the dollar index. Looking at this bullish run it had done from here, so if you look at this, right, we had some massive bullish run all the way from the 89.70 area, tapping right into the 1950 and then closing strongly like this bearish closure here. So I knew that from here we had possibility of pulling back down, right, which could be more like a retracement or a reversal. Who knows, we're yet to find out that, but I knew that we're going to have like a major reversal on the opposite direction, which is this bearish reversal we had here. So what did that mean? What that also meant was that then I should start looking at weakness in the dollar. And then if I have to look at weakness in the dollar, then for any dollar cross that I trade, I have to also, if it's dollar acting as or if it's dollar represented as the quote currency, then I have to look for a bullish trend in the market. And then if it's dollar represented as the base currency, then I have to look out for bearish movement in the market, right? So that was my confluence for looking out for the dollar pairs to trade, right? And then the first one that I had tried my hand several on to trade was the USD Swiss franc, right? So this pair has been a very stubborn one, right? So even though I hope for this video not to be long, because of the in-depth analysis that I'm giving, it may be a little bit longer, but I hope you take your time to watch everything and understand it, because it's going to play a major role in giving you so much knowledge and then getting you better in trading, right? So now let's look at USD Swiss franc. So several about 2-3 weeks now I've been trying to short this currency pair because of the wrong signals I have been getting from the dollar index, right? So now if you look at the dollar index, right, if you look at the dollar index, like I told you already in my intro, anytime it gives us a bearish sign, we try to look for shorts in other dollar pairs, and then anytime it gives us a bullish sign, we try to look for longs. So when it comes to the dollar index, right, around this area in the market, around this area, I started seeing some weakness in the dollar index, so I started looking out for shorts in the dollar pairs, like I've told you, and then most of it was a fake out, right? So if you look at USD Swiss franc, which I'm going to go right into again, right? So USD Swiss franc around the same area, in the market, it gave me some signal that we're likely going to short. I went into it, and then we had like this kind of choppy consolidation, which eventually ran up against me, and the dollar index gave me another signal for a short. I took those trade around here, and it quickly also ran up against me. So because of that, I decided to stay away from trading that currency pair until I have had like another strong confirmation, which is having the dollar index in a very strong resistance area, right? So because of that, I decided to stay away from the market, and then particularly have my eyes close up on the dollar index, make sure that all my analysis on the dollar index are up to point before I decide to take any trade decision, right? So like I said, what you must understand is that yes, sometimes in the market you may be wrong, right? You may take instant decisions and then literally be wrong, but if you understand what you are about in the market with respect to technical analysis, that small loss shouldn't be a major factor to throw you off or to discourage you from still looking at next opportunities on the market. So USD Swiss franc, I took 2 L's on that, right? So about 30-40 pips on all occasions before I decided to stay away, right? But all those weeks, the currency pair that I was looking to show was USD Swiss franc and then USD JPY, right? So it was 4 trades actually that didn't go well for me. I think USD Swiss franc, USD JPY, I forgot about the other 2, probably GBP USD, because I was still looking at the dollar index, right? So we're going to go into that. Nonetheless, like I said, I stayed away and then watch this thing literally run and run and run up like that. That bullish run was something that was insane, but it's kind of a huge run here, which made about let's see how many pips, about 487 pips. I just knew that it was way overdue, and then soon we would have some major reversal or retracement in the market for the bearish side, right? So I had to keep my eyes closed on the dollar index, and I told you 92.50 was an area that I targeted, and then when it hit there, I knew that yes, that was the time that the bears would probably be coming. Coincidentally, the interesting thing is that when dollar index hit 92.50, USD Swiss franc had also hit this nice support level, which had now become some level of resistance. So if I zoom in my chart, you can see what I mean clearly by a support level becoming a resistance, right? So you can see here when the market dropped at this point, he acted as a support before it pulled back up, broke that level, and then for a long time we came to retest that level here, now acting as a resistance before the market dropped it. So that is why I always emphasize to you guys that timing is everything in the market. If you're a trader and then you do not give so much priority on timing, you would miss huge moves in the market. Because I knew that we had run into a major support level, now becoming more like a resistance, and at the same time the dollar index hitting its major resistance level, then it became a key point for me to start looking for the right time to come into the market. So that influenced me to go short when I had my entry confirmations on this currency pair. So any trade that I show you why I took the trade, I'm sure to put as well the running trade so that you guys see exactly where my entry was, and then it's not just me running analysis with my mouth, but to show you proof that yes, indeed the community took the trade and then we're still running in profit, right? So yeah, currently you can clearly see that we took an entry where this setup is, and then we're running about 120 pips in profit for USD Swiss franc. So that is the analysis for USD Swiss franc. Let's look at GBP USD. So when it comes to GBP USD, that was a very tricky one, right? So for this one, because of how risky and then volatile GBP USD was, I didn't decide to share with the community, because sometimes I really think about the account capital of people in the community, and I try to preserve you guys from taking extremely risky or uncertain trades. So pound has been very hysterical, right? Not giving the right signal. So some of these pairs, I take the decision by myself with respect to taking those trade entries, right? So it gave us a very choppy range within this angle, right? You see that it just moves up and down, consolidation and everything, right? But around the same time where the dollar index had dropped with that bearish candle that I showed you, right? Let me visit that again so that you guys have a clear picture. So there's this bearish candle I'm talking about, right? So with this strong bearish candle right here, right? Maybe I should change the color so that you guys also can see it. So I'm gonna make that red. So with this strong bearish candle here, right, strong bearish closure here, that was the same time that GBP USD also had this strong bullish closure here. That was the same time that GBP USD also had that strong bullish closure here, right, which was a confluence indecision, because it gave me the idea that because we've closed strong bearish on the XY and then strong bullish on GBP USD, then there was possibility of this pound continuing on the upside, right? Nonetheless, this pattern right here is also a confirmation or candlestick pattern that I teach people in my close call. So if you've never joined my sniper entry session, you're literally missing out on bettering your understanding in the market, because everything is purely price action. You don't need any indicator, and then you're going to be able to catch high probability trade setup with minimal stop loss, right? So yeah, that was the entry confirmation. I took that trade there. I'm also going to put that in a picture or in the video so that you guys see the entry range for GBP USD. And now we're running about 160 pips. Hit our take profit level because I was anticipating take profit around 1.400, which was a major psychological level for me. So that's the trade description for GBP USD, right? Same analysis, right, was on Euro USD. You know, GBP USD and then Euro USD, they are directly correlated. It means that when one is going up, there's likelihood for the other to also go up, and then when one is dropping, there's likelihood for the other to drop, especially when they are in cross reference with the DXY. So it's around the same time that I told you guys that we had a strong bullish closure for GBP USD, we had the same strong bullish closure for Euro USD around here, right, which was also sitting on some level of choppy support becoming resistance, and then resistance becoming support. That is this area right here, right? So I took the chance on the fact that we have DXY being strongly bearish and then GBP strongly bullish. It's likely for Euro USD to be strongly bullish, especially for the fact that it's now sitting on some level of support. So that was a confluence for this trade. And then for this trade, we are also running about 120 pips. So you can see that in the same moment, in the same time, because of my perfect analysis, I'm able to have 3 trades at the same time. But that wasn't the end of it, right? So now let's look at the other ones that I even took. The same time, the same period, I was also looking at Aussie dollar USD, and then for Aussie dollar USD, you can also see this strong confirmation here, which was also around the very same time where the DXY had that strong bearish closure. So you can see, like I told you guys, I can't emphasize it enough, that timing is everything in the market. So this one also gave me that confirmation for entry, especially when I had a little bit of pullback and I jumped in with a minimal stop loss. And then for this trade as well, we are running about 130 pips in profit, right? So the confluence was not only about the fact that the DXY, you can see that we came to some level of area of resistance, area of support becoming resistance, and then resistance becoming support, right? So support becoming resistance is area around this area, and then resistance becoming support is around this area. So we visited that area again with a strong bullish closure, and then that was a perfect confirmation if you know exactly the kind of candlestick pattern that we look out for entry. And we took this trade, and then we currently run about 130 pips. And then if you understand correlation cross-reference, you know that anytime Aussie dollar USD is running up, then definitely New Zealand dollar USD is also running up, because they are highly correlated, about 90 or 95% directly correlated. So the same time that I was looking at Aussie dollar USD, around the same time I was also looking at New Zealand dollar USD. And for New Zealand dollar USD, the same kind of pattern formation was also going on. Support level becoming resistance, resistance level becoming support. If you watch around this area, then we had like that strong bullish closure again for that one. So everything was perfectly aligned, and then the setup was likely not to fail, even though it was high probability and somewhat risky depending on how much in-depth analysis I had to do, and then timing. Yeah, we got into this trade as well, setting a stop loss right beneath the range, and then we are also running about 120 pips, a little bit shy of 120 pips on this setup as well, right? So now you can see that we took so many trades with dollar as a main basis of our entry, right? And I also didn't miss out on this nice bullish run on gold, right? So there's something I'm going to share with you in another video, that is the strong correlation between gold and USD JPY, right? And that's going to be a video that's also going to blow your mind as well. Nonetheless, because we had, or I had anticipated a strong bearish movement in dollar index, obviously, then it means that when it comes to XAU USD, then I was supposed to be expecting a bullish run. And then dollar and then gold, like I said, have been having this kind of a bearish run for a long time, creating lower high, lower low formation. So it's been a little bit tricky around trading gold, right? Especially for the fact that it gives a wrong signal. But if you understand the correlation cross-referencing between trading gold and the DXY, then your timing can be perfect. So because of that timing, it allowed me, when we had this strong bullish closure, like I said, which was also around the same time where all of the other ones had their closure, I went right into gold, going long, and then we're currently also running about 500 pips on gold as well. The trade that didn't do much for me was Euro card, right? Because I was expecting some level of strength in Euro USD, I was sort of expecting Euro card to also do well, for the fact that also we had run into this kind of a major support range, right? We had so many choppiness around this area, right? And then but this area had also served as a major psychological level in the market, and then support levels as well, right? So you can see support here, you can see some level of support here. So for the fact that we had run back into that range and then consolidated a bit, right, and then also giving me some level of reversal patterns that we look out for in our trade setups, then I didn't mind taking this trade. Even though this trade didn't do as I expected, it still didn't disappoint us by giving us about 30 pips for the run, right? So if you put it here, it even run as much as 40 to 60 pips, right? So before becoming choppy. So obviously you know what to do when the trade is running in your profit. You put your stop loss to break even. So yeah, this trade didn't go as we expected, which is me expecting it to run into this highs. Nonetheless, it's been a blessed week, and then we've made a lot of money. So now the morals of this whole analysis or nuggets to pick out is that patience is everything in the market, and the fact that 1 week is bad for you or the next week is bad doesn't mean that you are a bad trader or your analysis doesn't work on the market or your trading skills, you're losing it, or any other thing in the market, right? So you need a lot of patience, dedication, and the most important trading skills, which you get only a few people mentioning, which is resilience, right? So I'm going to leave the real meaning of resilience on the screen as well. So as a trader, you got to be extremely resilient so that you can be able to bounce back after a little bit of after a little bit of slowness, or after a little bit of failure, right? You should be able to have that resilience to bounce back up as quickly as possible. Yeah, so that ends us into this analysis for this video. I hope that this breakdown allows you into in-depth how we were able to crash the market this week, catching about 1,110 pips. Currently it's running about 1,200 pips plus, because the market is still moving in our direction, right? So I hope you guys learned a lot from this, and like I promised you, I'm always going to be coming consistently with insane content. So if you loved this content, if you love this video, if you love my analysis, you got to do only one thing for me: smash the like button, subscribe to this channel if this is your first time also watching of my analysis, because there's so much powerful nuggets that I share on this Telegram channel. And also join the KOJOFOREX Telegram community. I do a lot of giveaways. I give away free signals, I give away free tutorials, and you could also be a lucky winner to participate in my next sniper session for free by liking and commenting, or leaving a great comment, or any critical or criticism comment. I'm very open to critics in the comments below, right? So I also take my time to read every comment that you guys leave. And yeah, so without much ado, I'll see you guys also in the next video. Yeah guys, so that has been a very long, in-depth breakdown of what we had experienced this week. I hope that this analysis blew your mind. I know a lot of people place less priority on the XY, but this video gives you how highly of a value the XY is if you're adding in your confluence in trading, especially the dollar. But there's more videos that I'm going to be doing on the XY, and even breaking down how I get my psychological levels. So if you enjoyed this video, there's only one thing you got to do: make sure to click in the click on the like button to like this video. Number one, click on the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to this channel, because I'm going to be dropping more and more nuggets. Also make sure to click in the link in the description to join the KOJOFOREX Telegram community. Just join it and then have free trades. Who doesn't like freebies? Also make sure to follow me on all social media. It's the same name, KOJOFOREX, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, right? And yeah, without much ado, I'll see you guys in the next video, and peace out.